hair tie. Hold on. Hey! Hey, 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 hey. You guys want to know something crazy? You guys want to know something absolutely insane? I got a copyright claim on. What if I just did this stream from this screen today? I got a copyright claim on our stream yesterday for the sound effects on the tank scene. You guys copyrighted gunshots? All right. Okay. Fine. Whatever you say. I'm excited about today's stream, okay? Went a little deep last night into the MVP and stuff like that. How did they find out? I mean, YouTube does have a pretty extensive... I'm going to be on the first floor soon. That's true. They have a pretty extensive, like, copyright system, right? Jesus. I mean, my God. A very extensive copyright system. They detect that stuff, right? How are we doing today, folks? We got double espresso with what was the flavor of the creamer? Some type of cake creamer. Very good. Very good. Very delicious. As well as a splash of milk. A splash of milk. We're going to have a great day today. What's the name? I got to find out the creamer name because it is delicious, guys. It's delicious. Chobani confetti birthday cake. Chobani confetti birthday cake. So, you should make your own tank noises with your voice as a sound effect. Oh, that's a good idea. I should. You want to know one of the most dumbass memories I have? When you're like 4 or 5 years old, you just remember the weirdest shit. Like you maybe remember 0.05% of your life at that point. I remember we had family friends that like we'd get together and hang out with every so often, and I was like 5 years old. Most like the kids kind of ranged in ages, but there was someone who was like 5, 6 years older than us that we all thought he was the coolest dude on the fucking planet. And he was a cool dude, and I hope he's doing well. But we all thought he was the coolest fucking dude because he was older, and we're all trying to impress him. And we're playing some game, and I do a helicopter sound effect with my mouth, right? And he goes, "Wow, dude, you have a really good helicopter sound effect." And I remember thinking, hell yeah. And for the longest time, I thought about that. I was like, that's one of my talents. So my talents was that I can make a good helicopter sound effect with my mouth. So how about that? Isn't that a great thing to know? Like that, I go about my day every day. Anytime I'm down on myself, I think about that. No, it's gone. It's It's one of those things that left with my childhood innocence and my childlike wonder. Once they disappeared, the helicopter sound effect left. I don't even know how I would have done it. I actually don't even know how I would have done it. All right. What do we got to get into today? We have March Madness. I mean, the games are starting. You know, this is one of those exciting times of sports. This is one of the exciting times. We've got college basketball. What age did you gain consciousness? 0. Your Audi drinks birthday cake flavored coffee. You don't know it's something. If you would have told me that a couple weeks ago, I'd have been like, dude, what? I don't like birthday cake flavored things at all. But this is this is different. This is different. Eric with the 199. Appreciate the stream while I'm en route. Yes, sir, Eric. Yes, sir. Before birth, yeah, just walked outside. Was like, what's up, guys? 1995, walked out. What's up, guys? What the fuck are the Mavs going to do? They're terrible. They're like, oh, my God, what the hell? This is going to be the smartest kid of all time. And then it turned out to be me. Who's your favorite draft prospect so far? Cooper Flag. I mean, dude, there's a college basketball game on right now at 10:45 a.m. This is why this time of the year is sick. There's a college basketball game on right now at 10:45 a.m. That's what you want to see. Siley, what do you think of Max? What do you think Max lacks creation, but he was doing stuff initially, so I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he'll have the self-creation juice, if you will, that like a Quentin Grimes had. Now, I do think that Chrissy probably could be a better defensive player, just all around. And there's definitely value to that, but I mean, Grimes has been balling out. Tyler with the 499. Before we get started, good morning, but funk this Joker MVP propaganda shit, man. Most criminal thing in NBA history is Luke and I winning MVP last year. So we'll get into it here in a second. And I'm not going to lie to you, I thought this MVP race was done and over with. I looked into it just a tiny bit a couple of days ago, and I was like, hold on a second. And then I dove deep into it last night. I was like, wait. We gotta rethink everything. We gotta rethink. So guys, group chats. If it's a text group chat, is it not muted? I really might start watching college basketball. I mean, this is the best time of the year for college basketball. Like, this is come on, man. You got to watch this. So I buy switch on SG already? No, I'm not switching. I want to make this very clear. I'm not making like my takeaway is not that this. How about this? Actually, I don't want to spoil it. Let's get started. Let's get going. So if you think Jokic is the MVP, then I don't know what to tell you. The switch up is crazy. Guys, my God, man. Look, the Thunder fans are already turning on me. Guys, I'm thinking about being a Thunder fan this postseason. They're already turning on me. I can't please anybody. I can't please anybody, man. Oh. Maybe I'll change you guys' mind. Huh? Ever think of that? Will AD return this season? Oh, man. It really kind of seems like it, huh? It really kind of seems like it. Which is, well. Instant unsub if you cheer for the enemy. I don't think there is any enemies anymore. The only enemy is within. The only enemy is within. Okay. Fear is the enemy. That's right. That's right. What's up, son? I just got out the hospital for a 3-month coma. What did I miss? Why are the Mavs the 10th seed? Probably best that you slip back into that coma for a bit. Maybe a couple of years. We'll wake you whenever the time feels right. It's probably best to slip back into that thing. Man, is there an alternate to Bleacher Report streaks? I mean, this is really a sad development here. That Bleacher Report streaks is no longer with us. That was always a great start to the stream. It always felt like it was a great sort of kickstart to our day, and now it's gone. Right, a great icebreaker gets the day going, and then it's like, oh, wait, this college thing happened, and then we would do a deep dive into the college, except we wouldn't. Do some NBA play? NBA play is scary because it's like, you know, if I fuck up an NHL question on Bleacher Report streaks, no one's going to get mad at me. If I fuck up an NBA question, then I start questioning myself, and then that takes the stream in a wrong direction, right? New York Times Wordle. Wordle still exists. They haven't ran out of words, huh? They haven't ran out of words yet? We can start questions about college girls instead? Why would we do that? No, New York Times. Don't send me an email about logging in. Just let me log in, man. All right, let's just do Wordle. Can I type? Wait. Okay. Nico. Oh. Doncic? No. Luca. Slightly are the Warriors really contenders? Yes. I just did Wordle. Okay, I'm not going to look at the chat then. What was the word I always started with? I remember there was a word. How about, I feel like shame's a good word to start with. We all have a lot of it. M-A. M-A. Maybe it's Maybelline. No. I feel like M. Where does M go in a word? Like blah, 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 M? Could be. Could be a Tatum situation. What? Not on the word list? You're not familiar with Big Deuce? Huh. Interesting. Blame. Oh, fucking. That'd be the worst guess of all time. This is why I don't think Wordle's good content for a stream. Manny. Oh my God. What the fuck? Manop. Manny. Is that a word? Like a nanny? A manny? Am I stupid? Manual? We're running out of options here. Mano? I mean, it has to be an O, right? There's like not another sequence here that makes any sense whatsoever. Manop? Manon? Manob? Manob? Manove? Manoke? Manox? Manoz? Manoke? Manow? Manor? Manor. Oh. What? Wait, what? What the fuck is this word? Manto? Mampo? Manco? Manco? Manco is a thing, isn't it? Like, no. Manso? Mando? Like the deodorant? No. Manto? Manpo? Manbo? Manco? Is that a word? Manpo? Manto? Manbo? Mando? We already tried that. Manfo? Manao? That's not a word, is it? Guys, what the hell is this? Manko is not a word. Well, that's the last time we're playing Wordle on stream. Okay, kindergarten ELA, reading games, right? Here we go. Phonics, can you find the lowercase letter? Let's just start here. Let's just start with finding lowercase letters, and then we'll work our way up slowly. Guys, that was not that was. I'm sorry. I really am. I have nothing else to say other than that. That's why, like, I can't do that on stream, because that's how it would go. Whatever I would, when did that come out? That's been around since COVID, right? That was a big COVID thing. So if 80 returns their pathway for the Mavs to make the second round, fuck, sure. Man, look at Slightly's face, the way it phases in and out of reality. We all know you're still processing the trade slightly. Yeah, I'm going in and out of dimensions, man. Good morning, King. Get less sleep. You look great. Thank you. Thank you for that. I can't believe that just happened. Honest to God. Good morning, folks. It is Wednesday, March 12th, 2025, 10:57 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're getting close to March Madness, one of the most exciting times of the year. We're also getting close to NBA playoffs, the NBA season. We got about a month or so left, under a month. Wow, man. We have actually almost exactly a month. The final day of the regular season is April 12th. We're getting there, man. We are getting there. It goes by so fast. It really does. Like, when you think about the year in terms of like a sports calendar, it goes by so much faster. Like the NFL just ends. Like the NFL just ends once it starts. NBA feels kind of like there's moments in the NBA season where it feels like it might drag a little bit, right? But then you think about it when it's over, it's like, dude, that flew by. I mean, that absolutely flew by. If you're listening to this on Spotify, having a little bit of a slow start, maybe you're thinking, where's the energy at? Just had an epic embarrassment of unbelievable proportions on the channel that I don't want to dive into, really. But we attempted our hand at Wordle. I don't want to spoil Wordle spoilers. If you haven't played yet, Wordle spoilers. The word was mango. I had multiple attempts at MAN and could not, knowing the last letter was O, and could not figure out that it was mango. I think my final word was Manko. Anyways, let's get into today's episode. Today we're going to talk about, I did a little deep diving. I compiled some stats, compiled some numbers. The MVP race is... The MVP race is good, folks. I kind of thought it was over, sort of like everyone else. I just feel like, well, Shai's leading the league in scoring. Their team is so good. Like, how could it not be Shai, realistically? He's everything you'd want in an MVP. And that much is still true. I did some deep diving, and man, it's close, dude. I think this is one of the closer MVP races we've had in quite some time. One of the closest ones we've had in quite some time. Whip it out. Whip what out, man? If you're going to say it, just say it. If you're going to say it, don't pussy out. Just say it. Wife and I ordered 2 plum trees, pear tree, apple tree, and a mulberry tree. Finna be on this fruit game. Nice. Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid today? We got to go Real Madrid, man. Come on. The way that they attack the front line, you know, I don't know if Atletico has the backline defenders and the speed in the backline to keep up with how fast and quick paced Real Madrid plays, you know. So that's where I'm at. Was that right? How good was that? Was that close? Could I have said that on like an ESPN show and it sounded good? You'd buy it? Nice. Accurate? Cool. Great. Hire me. Atletico is a defensive team, though. Yeah, no, they're not. Paul with the $5. It will be SGA because giving Jokic a third MVP will make him one of the greatest centers of all time. Some voters aren't there yet. This would be Jokic's fourth MVP. Actually. Tyler with the $4.99. After last year, reasoning and logic MVP needs to be the best player on the best team in the West, period. We'll get into it. Here in a second. I do kind of want to start here. Interesting little segue. I don't even really like talking about this, but I think it's important. I do think it's important. Shaq has had an interesting couple of days. And by interesting, I do kind of mean embarrassing. I do mean embarrassing when I say interesting. There was a clip from his podcast with my guy Lefko. I love Adam Lefko, and I do love Shaq. But a podcast clip where Shaq, and I got to applaud Lefko for shooting back at Shaq a little bit.
Boring. I go, you're watching the same teams, because if you put on the Detroit Pistons right now.
Oh, stop it. They're boring too. Get
no.
Bro, 4 games under 500.
They've won 7 in a row.
Whoopee freaking do.
And I don't think they're 4 games under 500.
All right, what are they?
I'm going to look it up right now. And if you're right, I'm going to be pissed. They're 6 games over 500. They've won 7 in a row. Cade Cunningham is balling.
You want to brag about a team that's 32-26?
Oh, see how he moved the goalposts?
Yeah, stop it.
They were 10 games better than he thought.
That's not success.
They need to be 70-4.
40-20. We talked about it.
So we can only talk about 3 teams?
Bro, Detroit Pistons ain't winning no championship. Stop it.
Well, no. But you want to know what the odds are if they did?
So, I don't know. Just weird hating, right? That's whatever. I don't mind. I personally, I don't care about that. I don't care about Shaq going on his podcast and saying shit like that. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't really bother me. Shaq doesn't actually watch the games. Doesn't actually like watching the sport. He doesn't actually watch full games. Well, I've said this all the time. This isn't just the inside the NBA guys. Like ESPN's like this too, especially like Stephen A. Smith. These guys are doing so much shit. Like Stephen A. Smith is on air probably 16 hours in a day. It feels like, right? Shaq has like 55 different business commitments that he has, right? They don't watch the games. Like they don't have time. Like they do not have time to watch. Hold on, I got to look at this real quick. Loki's presidential look hits Marvel rivals. Let's see. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I thought it would look a little cooler. Anyways, that's whatever to me, right? But I don't know. Once you're on like the TNT show, like you're doing the Tuesday, you know, the Tuesday ones aren't the best, but you're doing the Tuesday show and people are tuning in and it's a basketball analysis show.
Be interested. You said something very interesting about Cade Cunningham. Great player now at this stage. He plays at his own pace. Anybody that can consistently play at their own pace and put up numbers, it's a great player. I like the way he's playing. I like what Chauncey is doing. Those guys play hard. My favorite player on that team is Isaiah Stewart. Big body, hard guy. Like to knock people out, push people around.
No, I can't let this go. Like who? Who's doing it? You said Chauncey?
Chauncey's the coach, right?
Okay.
Portland. No. Chauncey, he coaches.
I can't let this go.
JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, Bickerstaff. That's what I mean. Hey, you know, first of all, I don't watch Detroit. How about that, boo-boo? I don't watch him.
Couldn't let that go.
Oh, man. How long has Shotzi Billups been the coach of the Blazers? It's been like 4 years, hasn't it? We got like year 4 of that. They need to take tips from your book. You're wealthy, but still have time to stream for us. That's true. They do. Maybe I'll hit up Shaq. I like to double down every time someone says some stupid shit. That could, I mean, Shaq could have very easily just been like, oh, my bad. I meant JB Bickerstaff. I was thinking about the Blazers, right? Easy, just sort of little, oh, my bad. That's what I meant. But doubling down on, hey, I don't watch them. So it's like, but you just talked about it for a minute. So we just have to go back and just completely and totally erase everything that you said? Yes, we do. Didn't Shaq lose to the Pistons the last finals with the Lakers? Is that why he's a hater? I never thought about that. He does seem kind of spiteful, yeah? Shaq has never admitted he's wrong ever. His ego makes him shit on teams and then double down. I don't know. Like, this version of the show, Inside the NBA is what it is, right? And this stuff's important because it's what the league's putting out there, right? That's why I said I don't really care about Shaq going on his podcast and saying shit like that. I disagree with him. I don't think it's a very... that's just not a fun way to look at basketball. Like, oh, they're not 40-20. Why talk about them? Like, what? It's kind of lame. But the TNT show is different because this is what the league is putting on display. This is what the league is pushing out. You know, not the league itself, but this is what the league's broadcast partners are pushing out on their nationally televised games. Could you see an NFL broadcaster say that they don't watch a team? No, because this is the only sport where this is a thing. This is the only sport being like, I don't watch. Is like where people are like, yeah. It's like, yeah. All they do is shoot threes. But this crew right here, I just think Shaq sticks out like a sore thumb. I do. I think that the Tuesday version of this show is such a difference between the Thursday version. You can't replicate the Thursday version, right? You can't replicate the Inside the NBA thing. It's a once in a generation show. This one it's still kind of funny and it has its gaffes, but it's still, it's more serious, right? Like Lefko is a funny guy. Candace is a good basketball analysis, right? Obviously a great basketball mind. Vince Carter is a good basketball analyst. They care about analysis, like actual. And Shaq just sticks out. It's a weird dynamic. The Who We Play For segment makes me so mad. No, the Who We Play For segment's pretty funny, I will say. Because I could see, there's some people who are like, hey, in the offseason, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't care to know where Garrett Temple is at. I'll figure it out. That phone footage of Shaq and Barkley looking pissed that Luka making that game-winning shot against the Wolves will always be a priceless moment. They were shilling Ant so hard before that series. The league is actively telling casuals to their face the product sucks. That's the thing to me. Is it's just like you have one of the biggest figures in your sport, literally and figuratively, Shaquille O'Neal, still is to this day one of the biggest voices the league has. Everyone knows who fucking Shaq is, right? Your grandma and grandpa know who Shaq is. Just think it's lame. You know, just think it's lame to do the whole, like, go on the show and be like, oh, I don't watch them. Ugh. Well. Grody. Only sport. What other sport's doing this? I think baseball kind of reached that point, but not to this level, man. NFL, they would kill him. Roger Goodell would publicly execute an analyst for saying something like this. He would. Do you think the Amazon show next year will cause some ripples and start the change of more positive news? I have high hopes for the Amazon show, the Amazon's sort of production package in general. I have very high hopes. Very high hopes. Sally, to bust your ratings, can you go full monotone and barely talk like Shaq? I just don't think the Pistons are very good. I don't care what the record says. I don't care about them because they're the Detroit Pistons. There's no reason to talk about them at all. All right. I hate how much we talk about the Lakers and Warriors, but let's spend the next hour talking about the Lakers and Warriors. The Lakers play tomorrow night. They play the Milwaukee Bucks. Who cares about the Milwaukee Bucks? It's just Giannis. Giannis can't do anything but run and dunk. Who cares about him? The Warriors play the Kings tomorrow night. The Kings, the Queens. Who cares about them? They're terrible. They suck. Who cares about them? Who's playing tonight? Hornets Hawks. I haven't watched either of these teams in 6 years. Thunder Celtics. That's a great game. That's a great game right there. Sixers Raptors. Haven't watched a Raptors game since 2019. Clippers Heat. Can't wait to watch Jimmy Butler tonight. Suns Rockets. KD is going to go off tonight. The Suns are still a contending team. Don't sleep on them. Jazz Grizzlies. Haven't watched a Jazz game since 1998. Mavericks Spurs. Hopefully Wemby plays well tonight. Timberwolves Nuggets. Should be a good one. Knicks Trailblazers. Tonight. Should be fun games. Ay. There actually is a pretty damn good slate of games tonight. I get it with baseball. There's so many games. Well, to be fair, there was a stretch where like baseball needs to actually fix some stuff. And from what I could gather, the baseball arguments were legitimately like, hey, how do we fix some of this shit that desperately needs fixing? And baseball did fix it. And now it feels like, just from what I can gather, whenever I listen to MLB podcasts or watch an MLB game, is that there has been a big shift. And it's like, hey, guys, this sport's pretty fucking good now. Like, it's pretty good again. And everyone should tune in. The changes have been great. And I do agree. Baseball did a great job. They really did. They did a fantastic job. There was time where it was like, things are trending back. Games are 3.5 hours long. They're really good baseball pods popping up over the last few years. Yeah, and Slightly Round is going to be the next addition to that. Basketball is literally just like, this shit sucks. This league sucks. Like, ugh. These teams suck. I hate the way they play. It's like, all right, dude. Thank God you're leading one of the most popular NBA shows there is. But all right. There's no excuse not to watch at least highlights of every game if that's your literal job. Well, his job is to be an entertainer. I mean, basketball leans into this more than any other sport, and it's the ESPNification of things. It's the ESPNifications. Where your personalities drive things more, which I think could be okay. But I think your personalities have to really care about it. Like, once the personalities feel like, hey, I'm more important than anything else here, that's when you start to run into some problems, right? Like, the reason I still find Chuck somewhat endearing is that I do feel like he cares greatly about the league, right? Is it annoying sometimes, the shit that he says? Sure. But it does still feel like he cares about the league. Deeply. I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel that way with Shaq. Sometimes Shaq's like shitting on the league feels like it comes from like a genuine place of hatred and disliking. Finals preview tonight. Clippers Heat. Oh, I don't know, man. Tough road for both those teams. The Celtics Thunder. No J-Dub, who sucks. Yo, slightly love the content as a Nuggets fan. I feel your disdain for the Lakers. Thank you, the badass. Doing some of the MVP research, I will say, in terms of potential playoff teams that we will root for and go for on this channel, the Nuggets have flown up a little bit. I don't want to do power rankings because it'll spoil things, but the Nuggets have flown up. And I'm thinking about this over the next month. How about this for some content? Playback streams where we pretend to be fans of teams that we watch. And we just sort of see, what feels good. Like maybe in my mind, I'm like, hey, being a Cavs fan would be fun, but maybe I start watching them and I'm like, come on, Donovan. And I'm like, I don't know. Which I can't say is true because I know I like the Cavs. That was maybe a bad example. Maybe the Suns go on. It's possible the Suns go on a run and knock the Mavs at the play-in tournament, which we're all on hands and knees begging for. And I've watched every single game of theirs since the fucking All-Star break, and they've been dreadfully embarrassing. But maybe I do that, and I'm like, you know what? I've grown attached to this band of misfits. Now, they would lose in the play-in tournament immediately, but you should make a schedule for slightly 30 days of Fandom tour for each team. Yeah, I should. That's a great idea. Thank you. You're welcome. It's a great idea, me. I've got to probably do that. And read their subreddits to prepare. Ooh. Maybe Adam Silver rigs the lottery and Mavs get flag. That's the only thing that's keeping this franchise together, is the idea of that. I'm being dead serious. That's the only thing that's keeping the Mavs fans going, is the idea that they might rig the lottery for the Mavs. Hold on a second, guys. All right, I got a sneeze building up, but it's not out yet. Can you help develop a corny rating for each team? Can it be quantified? Corny. I don't think too many teams are corny. I don't know. Maybe as I get older and I just look at the world and I'm like, man, this place sucks. I'm just like, you know what? Do I really care about the Warriors or the Thunder barking? No, I really don't. Like, I thought about that. It's just like, God, everything's so shitty now, right? Do I really care about barking? Not really. There's people who are way less fortunate than me out there. A lot of them. That's like 99% of the population, right? Just financially speaking. I don't know if they still do the barking stuff. I was about to say, I don't think they bark anymore. But they do the 99.9. I was being generous. They do the group interviews, yeah. Whenever I had my spark and it was like, the Mavs, fuck every other team, I was like, you know what? Deep down, I agree with you, Draymond. They can't win. They can't win the championship if they do group interviews. They can't do it. I was like, you're right, Draymond. But now I'm just like, yeah, man, let the kids have fun, man. Happiness is such a fleeting emotion anyways. Eric with the $4.99. Need your Mavs to beat my Spurs so our draft odds keep skyrocketing. Capture the flag. Hell no, Eric. No. Sorry, buddy. The Mavs have to lose tonight. I'm sorry. It's just the way it has to be, okay? And I'm sorry for that. Steven Adams called his team selfish in his last post-game interview. Hell yeah. Love that. I really do. They're bringing PJ back. It might be hard to lose. We'll see. I mean, they gave up how many points to the Spurs a couple nights ago? 129. Like, they needed the once every 5 games Spencer Dinwiddie to show up to win. Hey, maybe it's time to update your dancing guy. You look way thinner. All respect, no hate. Thank you. I'm also wearing like a coat in that, you know? I'm also wearing a coat in that. Can you call SGA your MVP now? All right. Should we get into the MVP discussion? Yeah, I guess why bury the lead? Let's get into it. So I did some deep diving. The MVP, which, I don't know, you hear people talk about it. And a lot of people, some people with votes even, make it sound like this race is over. And for the longest time, I kind of agreed. I just felt like the Thunder are going to win 65 plus games. Shai's having one of the most dominant scoring seasons we've ever seen from a guard. And, you know, that's just what an MVP encapsulates. Best player on the best team, or at least best player on one of the best teams. This is what the award's all about. So what's there to talk about? I started to look into the stuff a little bit over the past weekend. I was like, damn. I mean, I knew Jokic was having a great season, but like, damn. Then I started to do, last night I did some very deep diving. Did some deep diving into some stats, into the numbers, the historic connotations of some of these things, the historic stats. Folks, I don't know. I mean, let's look at the odds, right? First and foremost, let's say, is there somebody else creeping up? No, there's not a third. This is a 2-person race through and through. There's really not an argument for a third. SGA is minus 440 right now, which is kind of crazy. Jokic plus 300. Then you have Tatum, Giannis, and LeBron all tied with plus 50,000. So, I mean, what would have to happen for either of those three to win it? I mean, are Jokic and Shai already past the 65 game threshold? No, it'd have to be, and I'm knocking on wood right now, but it'd have to be season-ending injuries for both Jokic and Shai at the same exact time. So if you're betting on one of these three, you're betting on that. Which we don't even want to put that energy out into the world, but that is what it is. But it is a 2-horse race here. Last year was a legitimate 3-horse race. Of course, I want to say before we get into this, because I know what some of you guys are going to say in the chat, and I just want to say right now, last year I did a whole 40-minute video. I thought Luka Doncic should have won the MVP. So don't do the whole, last year, I know. I agree with you. Okay? I agree with you. I thought Luka should have won the MVP last year. I still feel that way very strongly. All right? So let's just get that out the way right now. Because this year's a completely different year. Completely different seasons from both of these guys. The context is completely different. So I don't want to do like the back and forth comparison. I'm knocking on plastic, which cancels out your wood knocks. All right, that's fair. So let's start with Jokic. The season that Jokic is having. Because I feel like it's important to start with him because some people feel as though this race is over. I think this race is very far from over. And I think it should go down to the end of the season. And I think it should be talked about daily now. Like, I don't, explain this to me, right? We do the MVP talk all year long. Literally, the moment the fucking season starts, we do the MVP discussion. The moment the season starts, we're talking MVP. And now it's reached a point where, oh my God, this race is crazy. This race is actually insane. Now, most people are like, yeah, it's over. It's like, no, man, this is the time. Now we should be talking about this. Now we should spend every day talking about this. Jokic, counting stats, absurd. 29, 13, 10.5 per game. That would make him the third player ever, assuming he holds those averages, which I'm assuming he will. He'll be the third player ever to average a triple-double over the course of a season. It'll be the 6th time ever that somebody has done that. Oscar Robertson obviously did it once. Russell Westbrook did it 4 times. Isn't that shit crazy? It's crazy that Russ did that 4 times. And then you have Nikola Jokic, which, okay, truthfully, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I already thought he averaged a triple-double. For some reason in my brain, I thought he's already averaged a triple-double in a season, but he's never averaged 10 assists. So that makes sense. 10 and a half assists. It'll be the second most efficient triple-double season ever relative to the league average true shooting percentage. By true shooting percentage, it would be the most efficient triple-double season ever. But Oscar Robertson, relative to league average, had a 116 true shooting plus. I love that stat. I remember asking about that stat recently. I was like, they should have a stat like baseball has an OPS plus where it compares you to league average. They should do that, like a true shooting plus, and they have it. So they listen to me. I feel like I'm responsible for that. Jokic has a 115 true shooting plus, so close. Because you go back in time and you look at like these historic seasons. You look at Oscar Robertson, like 56% true shooting, like, oh, that's not very good. But at the time, that was really good. It's important to remember that in context. He'll be the first center ever to average 10 assists in a game. A player averaging 28 points per game has happened 176 times over the course of NBA history. This would be the third most efficient 28 point per game season in the history of the league, trailing only 2016 Stephen Curry, who unanimous MVP, by the way, and 1988 Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley's career is absolutely nuts, guys. Can we do a tiny little detour here? Charles Barkley, fucking crazy. I mean, obviously, MVP, Hall of Famer, top 50, top whatever player of all time. Was named to the top 50 team, top 75 team. Just an absurd player. 23 points per game, 14 and a half rebounds in a season, 28 points per game. Led the league in true shooting percentage that year. 28 points per game, leading the league in true shooting. I mean, just crazy career he had. Yeah, the rebounding numbers are crazy because he's 6'6". Just an insane career. And I know we all know that Charles Barkley was a great basketball player, but I feel like over time, as he's just becoming more and more, we've experienced Charles Barkley has been in our lives more as a commentator. I feel like we don't fully appreciate just how insanely good he was, if that makes sense. He's shooting 43% from 3 on 4.5 attempts a game. This would be the third most efficient three-point season by a center, attempting 3 or more threes per game ever, trailing only 2023 Al Horford. And 2010, played for the Phoenix Suns. Can you guys guess? Tyler with the 499. Jokic has never beaten a 50-win team in the playoffs. What does that got to do with the MVP? 2010 center for the Phoenix Suns, Channing Frye. How about that? So just an unbelievably efficient season from Jokic. 56 points created per game. That's the most in the NBA. Last year, Luka had 59, which was the most ever. Should have won the MVP, man. He really should have. Let's dive into some of the on-off stuff because it is fucking crazy. It really is. The Nuggets offense is 24 points per 100 possessions better when he's on the floor. 24 points. That is the biggest swing in cleaning the glass history, which goes back to 2003, 2004 seasons. So 21 seasons. Nobody's even really come close to that. The team is 23 points per 100 possessions better when Jokic is on the court. This is the same as last year. For Jokic, a couple of seasons ago, the Nuggets were 24 points per 100 possessions better when he was on the court. Draymond in 2016. The Warriors were 25.5 points per 100 possessions better when he was on the floor. But other than that, one of the biggest swings in the history of the league. The Nuggets, and here's the thing, because I want to start here. Because this is, and I use this as an argument against Jokic last year, the swings, the on-off swings, some of the on-off numbers. are a little bit boosted by the fact that Jokic plays with all the starters. Somebody in the chat just pointed that out. 5-man lineups. The Nuggets play with the 5 starters 35% of the time, which is the second most in the NBA. And interestingly enough, that's the lowest number for the Nuggets since the 2018-2019 season, right? Second most. Here's the thing, though, right? I get that. That does kind of inflate the on-off numbers a little bit. But the thing working in Jokic's favor is the fact that they are dominant when he's on the court. Like, it would be different if the team was absolutely dog shit when he was off, and when he was on, they were just like, okay. Right? But they are dominant when he's on the floor. They have an 11.7 net rating when they have 5 starters on the floor. That is second behind only the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are having a historic offseason, or historic regular season. We mentioned the on-off swing offensively for Jokic. The Nuggets have a 128 offensive rating when he is on the floor, a 107 offensive rating when he is off the floor. Just for a frame of reference, the Cavaliers, the best offense in the NBA, have a 123 offensive rating. The Nuggets have a 128 offensive rating when Jokic is on the floor. The Charlotte Hornets have a 107 offensive rating, 29th in the NBA, second to last. The Nuggets have a 107 offensive rating when he is off. So we're talking the difference between a historically great offense versus a bad offense when Jokic is on the court versus when he's off. All right, whatever. That's kind of to be expected. Fine. Jokic, 7.8 offensive estimated plus minus EPM. It's my favorite stat, EPM, which is the most in the NBA. It's the highest, second highest since 2002, with 2016 Steph at 8.8. And there's 20 games or so left? (2019 Harden? No, I don't think so. I did this yesterday. What was 2018 Harden? 2019 Harden. When Jokic is off the court, we are ass. Oh, I gotta fucking log into all these different things, man. Good Lord. But anyways, I was saying, with 20 or so games left, he could catch up to Steph. (2019) James Harden. No, 7.7. I'm looking at it right now. All right, sorry we got derailed there. Go to actual. I'm looking at actual. I said offensive EPM, guys. Offensive EPM. He has a 9 point. James Harden had a 9.4 EPM that year. I said offensive EPM. Harden had 7.7. Jokic is at 7.8 right now. Offensive EPM. Some of his notable games. 31, 21, 22 against the Phoenix Suns. The first 30-20-20 game in the history of the NBA. Also the most assists ever in a game by a center. Had a triple-double at halftime, had another triple-double in the second half. Crazy-ass game. 35, 18, and 8 versus the Oklahoma City Thunder on 15 of 20 shooting. It was the most efficient 35, 15, and 8 game in history. 35, 22, and 17 versus Sacramento Kings in January, which was the first 30-20-15 game in 57 years. Of course, 31, 21, and 22 against the Suns a couple of months later. The only time that's ever happened in the history of the league. And I think part of what makes his season and him being so valuable is the fact that, yeah, this is not a great Nuggets team outside of him, especially the way that their season has gone. It's a good team, don't get me wrong, but the way the season has gone, they're currently the 2 seed 42-23. Like, they're a great basketball team. Jamal Murray graded out as a league average player until like the turn of the new year, right? Aaron Gordon has played 38 games. There's 7 points per 100 possessions better when he plays. Very important for their team. He's played 38 games, and just even then has not looked like Aaron Gordon. Just been dealing with this lingering calf injury this whole season. And around the same time that Jamal Murray turned it around, MPJ turned into a pumpkin for a month. So he's doing a lot with, I wouldn't say little, because it's still a pretty decent team. Like, Christian Brown's had a fantastic season. Russ, nobody expected this out of Russell Westbrook. But he's doing a lot with not as much as the other guy, which is how these arguments go. Now, the case against Jokic would be, defensively, it ain't good. He's not a good defensive player at all. 0.5 defensive estimated plus minus. That's the lowest of his career. And it would be the lowest for an MVP since 2011 Derrick Rose. The Nuggets have a bottom 10 defense when Jokic is on the court. So that would be your argument, is that he's just not a good defensive player. And there's just really no counter argument to that. He's not a good defensive player. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my potential fellow Nuggets fans in the chat. He's just not a good defensive player. All right. But the thing is offensively, he's having quite possibly, and maybe, the best offensive season we've ever seen. It is entirely possible this is the greatest offensive season we have ever seen a player have. The absurd efficiency, it's just on another level. He's reached a point in his career where it's just, I've said this before with Luka, where it's like, how do players get better? It's like, they don't like necessarily add too many things to their game. They just hone in, right? It's just mistakes become fewer and fewer and fewer. And you might not like notice it all that much watching. Like the change doesn't seem that crazy, but it is the gradual ascent to where you reach a point where now it feels like Jokic is just a perfect basketball machine on offense. It's just like he's a perfect basketball machine offensively. It's just like there's nothing wrong. It's crazy. The season he's having is fucking nuts. Nuts. Like, I sitting doing it, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe the season Jokic is having. Like, I knew it was great. I knew it was fantastic. I kind of thought, and admittedly, like, to me, on Twitter especially, Nuggets fans doing the MVP stuff, kind of, it's in one ear, not the other. I have to be honest, just because they've done it for so long, and some of the stats they concoct, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at, right? Like kitchen sink, drip, droop, gloop, group. It's like, what are these stats, man? Like, what the hell am I looking at? They're just looking, like, Jokic's best argument, ironically enough, because he is a spreadsheet guy, and it is, look at the spreadsheet. His best argument is just watch the fucking games. Just watch the games. Watch how good this guy is. He's having the second best offensive season in the last 2 years. He's got a good case for the best offensive season of all time right now. Advanced stats are bullshit. Bottom line, the impact should lead to more wins overall than OKC has. Andy Bailey's been a disaster for Jokic's legacy. No, Andy Bailey's cool, but like, yes, the stat sheet stuff or the spreadsheet stuff, yeah, it's annoying. It is annoying. It is. Now, I say all of that to say this. I still don't know if I would pick him over Shai. So, of course, the Shai argument. The Thunder are 53-12. They're going to probably finish, I don't know, 65 or so wins would probably be where they finish at in a very good, tough, kind of disappointing, but a tough Western Conference. To win that many games is crazy. SGA argument without mentioning team record falls apart immediately. No, it does not. No, it does not. Leads the league in scoring, 32 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 64% true shooting. Just an absurdly efficient scoring season from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 7th most efficient 30-point per game season ever. And most of the guys that he's trailing are either bigs, Giannis is on that list ahead of him, or three-point shooting gods like Steph Curry and Damian Lillard is ahead of him on that list as well. Top 2 in steals per game. I don't give a fuck about steals per game. I do not at all. Now, that being said, Shai's second in steals per game. No, I'm sorry. I don't care about steals. I don't think that's the best representation of defensive players. It isn't. It's not to say steals aren't important. Anyways, Shai. Scoring at that efficiency while not being like a knockdown three-point shooter for a guard is absolutely crazy. I mean, it is insane. You know, he's 37% from three. I mean, which is good. Don't get me wrong. So did you know the 3 MVP years with the fewest free throws per game in NBA history are all held by Jokic? It's pretty interesting. Point guard who can't get 7 assists per game. We'll talk about that here in a second. And before you guys say anything else, SGA, 24.7 points per game without free throws. That is the most in the NBA. All right? So take it easy on my guy. Leads the league in scoring without free throws. Do you consider him stat padding during garbage time? Doesn't he lead the league in scoring through 3 quarters by like a huge margin? The Thunder have not done a lot of stat padding this year. I don't think that's a good argument at all. He does have 4 50-point games this season, which is the most in the NBA. All 4 of them are in the last 20 games. He has scored 20 or more in every single game this season, but one singular game. Leads the league in 40-point games, leads the league in 30-point games. He's been the best isolation player in the league so far this season. 76 points over expectation in isolation. That's the best in the league. I like that stat. Why do I like that stat? It takes into account how often are you isolating and how efficient are you at it. Which doesn't matter. Like, there are guys who are efficient in isolation but do it once a game, twice a game. And it's just like, You know, Shai does it a lot. He's very good at it. He's also the best in terms of points over expectation as a pick and roll ball handler. He has solved the game offensively as a guard. When he gets to the rim, he's finishing or going to the free throw line. When he gets to his spot around the free throw line, his pull-up is absurd. It is insane how fast he rises up. His deacceleration is legitimately legendary. Legendary. How fast he rises up. He has a plus 16.9 net rating, which is the highest in the NBA. Now, I think one of the arguments against Shai is that, well, his team's still good without him, which is true. I think the Thunder net rating without him is around 5, which is would still be a good team in the Western Conference. He has a 10.5 point on-off swing. So what makes him valuable? Because I've seen people argue, well, like, can he be the most valuable player if his team is still good without him? His team goes from being just a solid team, right? A solid team, to a legitimately historically good regular season team. They go from a solid team to a historically great team when he's on the court. And these numbers right here are from Carson Reber. These stats are crazy. SGA's numbers when some of his guys are off the court. SGA on the floor with no Chet, plus 20 net rating. SGA on the floor with no J-Dub, plus 25 net rating. SGA with no Isaiah Hartenstein, plus 20. SGA with no Chet or J-Dub, plus 28. SGA with no Chet or Hartenstein, plus 22. SGA with no J-Dub or iHart, plus 27. So make no mistake about it. The Thunder are a mid-60 win team, and that's because of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Through and through. Through and through. They are historically great. a historically great team because of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He makes them go. Some of his big games: 45 points, 9 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks on 13 of 21 shooting against the Clippers. 45, 7, and 8 on 15 of 22 shooting against the Pacers. 50 points, 62% shooting versus the Suns. I mean, it's absurd what he does. And the argument against him would be, well, he's not the playmaker that Jokic is, and that's true. I mean, I don't know if there's been a player in the history of the league who's the playmaker that Jokic is. He's still a good playmaker. Don't get me wrong. But what's required out of him isn't the same as a guy like Jokic. Their teams play differently. In my opinion, SGA's strongest point is his amazingly accurate mid-range. I mean, SGA's strongest point is that he has become literally unsolvable as an offensive player. That's what it is. It's the stage that Luka reached last year as well, where it's just you cannot defensively do anything against this guy. He's shooting from three-point land. He is literally unstoppable in the mid-range. Once he gets to his spot, it's game over. Like, you just have to pray he misses. Once he gets to his spot, it's done. Teams are starting to double him at half court. Yeah, that is the next step in the progression. Is teams are going to start to trap him at half court and double him at half court and force anyone else on the Thunder to do anything. He's the best mid-range shooter in the league by a far margin. I mean, he's gonna finish his career as one of the best mid-range guys to ever play the sport. Luka last year had a more productive year. Guys, I already said I'm not doing the Luka last year stuff because I said Luka should have won the MVP last year. So. And then the argument, him versus Jokic, Shai is a much better defender. I said Jokic is not a good defender, and it is pretty detrimental to your team when your center's not a good defender. Like that much is true. I'm sorry to say it. My potential fellow Nuggets fans in the chat. I'm sorry to say it. And also my potential fellow Thunder fans in the chat. The Shai's playmaking is not at the level of Jokic's. I mean, that goes without saying. Who is SGA guarding? It doesn't really matter to me. SGA is a good defensive player. He's not a weakness on the court. Do they hide him at times defensively so he doesn't have to exert that much energy? Sure. Sometimes is he guarding the fourth best player because the Thunder can roll out defense lineups that have somebody who's going to be on the all defensive team this year in J-Dub, Alex Caruso, who's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, Cason Wallace, who's one of the better perimeter defenders in the league. Yeah. Shai is black. Give him MVP. All right. Goodbye. Look at the Nuggets ratings with Jokic, without him. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, but the Thunder have a crazy on-off split as well when Jokic is on the court, or Shai's on the court versus when he's off. SGA's D is hyped up way too much, though. I mean, getting Defensive Player of the Year votes and stuff like that, yeah, that's probably excessive for sure, but he's a good defender. He's a good defender, man. But is Shai at least the league average for point? Genuinely asking because I don't watch him. Shai's a good playmaker. Like, legitimately a good playmaker. I mean, the thing is, Jokic is an all-time great generational playmaker. But SGA is like an all-time great generational scorer. I mean, it is insane what he does. So I don't know. This is insane how close this is to me. This is absolutely insane how close this is to me. We'll see how it goes over the next month. To me, it feels like these odds, there's no way these odds represent how close this race is. Like, if I were a betting man, which I'm not, I would definitely sprinkle some money on Jokic right now. Not insane because SGA is going to win. I think if I had to guess right now, I'd say SGA is going to win. I think there's some voter fatigue stuff with Jokic, which is fucking lame. And I think once that argument gets thrown out there, once the voter fatigue argument becomes like the big go-to argument, maybe your argument's not as solid as you thought. Once we start going to the voter fatigue side of things. Who went to the finals again? Luka or Shai? Guys, I'm sorry to tell you, Luka's not in this. I don't know if you guys thought Luka would be coming up soon. Luka's not in this conversation. Okay? So I don't know why I'm constantly bringing him up. Nuggets fans championing the exact opposite position as last year's, both hilarious and off-putting. That is true. It is very similar. Now, to Nuggets fans' defense, my thing with Jokic last year was, fuck all of these stupid-ass advanced metrics. The number one argument for Jokic is just watch the games. Watch this guy play every night. Watch these guys play every night. Luka's disqualified for not reaching number. Yeah, Luka cannot win MVP, which is why I'm saying, like, I don't know why. I think it's going to be close. And I think it's going to end up being closer than this odds-wise. I do. Watch Nick Wright's opinion on goalpost moving for Jokic MVP. His opinion is factually correct. I mean, the thing is, man, Jokic is having an unbelievable season. Luka isn't in the conversation as these guys anymore. It's okay to admit. I mean, if we're just going based off the play we've seen this season, yeah, Luka's not in. Luka has not been close to Jokic or Shai this season. Last year, Luka was absolutely, in my opinion, the MVP of the league. Luka won't ever be healthy? Well, that's a different conversation. If you were giving a vote, who will you vote, bias aside? I would take my vote down to the last day of the season. If I had to vote right now, man. If I just had to pick one right now, as tough as it is, I think I would go Shai. I do. I think I would go Shai just because, again, they're going to win 65 plus games probably. He's having one of the most insane scoring seasons we've seen from a guard, and he elevates their team from being good to being historically great. And I do feel like if I just had to do one weakness for each guy, the Jokic defensive stuff is the biggest weakness for me. But then I think about it more and I'm like, all right, well, if I were to just sit down and watch Jokic, Shai, who would I think the best player is? I would think Jokic is the best player. Jokic is the best player in the league. So then it goes back to, well, if it's close, and it's not like the Nuggets are the 4 seed, the 5 seed, the 6 seed. The Nuggets are the 2 seed, right? The Nuggets are the 2nd seed. If it's that close, would it be stupid to not just say, well, this guy's the best player in the league, so I'm just going to give it to him? That's what I'm saying. It's so close. Kind of a crazy take, bro. What is? What's crazy? Jokic made Russ better? That's true. That is true. I mean, both of these guys are having absurdly great seasons. Both these guys are having great seasons. Both these guys are very worthy MVP candidates. Isn't it silly to compare seeding versus game difference? No, I get what you're saying. But the Thunder as a team are much better than the Nuggets. I get what you're saying. But I'm saying, like, kind of historically speaking, in voters' minds, they see that 4, 5, 6 seed. It becomes a lot more difficult for them to. And if it's close, people will look at that and just be like, well, this guy's the 1 seed. Nuggets could slide to 4 or 5-2. That's true. Which is why I'm saying this, like, in a month, like, I wouldn't say this race is over at all. We changed the rule for MVP literally only for Jokic. 6 seed MVP that got swept. Team award MVP and analytics MVPs won every single type of MVP possible. I mean, Jokic has been an all-time great player. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. If the Mavs traded Luka for Shai, would you have been happy with that? Like, instead of what they did? Yeah, I'd be very happy. Like, instead of the trade they did, of course, I'd be very happy with that. Locked On Nuggets host doesn't even believe in the Nuggets. Well, doing a regular season MVP thing is different than, I think this team can win a championship this year, especially when there's 3 like juggernaut teams. And here's the thing. Jokic, so if we're going to do the Nuggets fans are hypocrites, a lot of the arguments I had for Luka last year are in Jokic's favor this year. So if I'm just being, if I'm just, on the other hand, if I'm just staying true to that, you think if Luka won MVP last year, it delays the trade from happening? I don't know. I really don't. Goalpost switching for Jokic then? Well, the goalposts move every year. Like every year the goalposts change. That's just the context of the season changes every single year. So like the MVP race is different every single season because there's different things at play, there's different players, there's different teams involved. So it is different every single year. The SGA greater than Luka take is so dumb because SGA has only won 1 playoff series versus Zionless Pelicans. I mean, I think we're just saying Shai's been better than Luka this year in the regular season. That's really not that's not like, can't really argue that. But yeah, I mean, just in terms of career wise, of course, Luka's been better. Will an American win MVP in the next 5 years, including this year? Cade, maybe. I would love Cade to win an MVP. That would be awesome. I don't know. Like Tatum, I don't think can ever have the season. You know, like we know the Celtics will be good. I just don't think Tatum will ever have the season where it's just like, my God, this guy's the best player in the league. Like in order to win MVP is not always the best player in the league award. We know that, but you have to be like, there has to be an argument for you. Like you have to be able to maybe make the argument. I don't know if you can ever get there with Tatum. LeBron being 5th in MVP voting or odds is just fucking crazy, man. It's insane. But yeah, you look at the league. I don't know, man. Tatum would have to be the logical choice. Maybe Anthony Davis next year. I don't know, man. Luka's 27, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and he's trash. Nobody said Luka's trash. Anthony Edwards, maybe. I don't know if Ja will ever play enough games is the problem. Anthony Edwards, it's really between Anthony Edwards and Tatum would be my guess. I would love for Cade to get into that mix. Can the Pistons be good enough? They're good this year, but you do have to be. You either have to have like a historically all-time great season, which is it in there for Cade? I'm not entirely sure. Or your team has to be dominant. I don't know. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell is going to ever be good enough. Great player, fantastic player. I don't know if he'll ever be good enough. Flag, I don't know if that's his game. From everything I've seen about Flag, is it more accurate to say Flag is maybe like an all-NBA guy here and there, but an all-defensive team guy and like an incredible second, third guy on your team? Am I wrong in saying that? Flag will be an elite number 2? Dylan Harper on the Mavericks? Flag is basically an elite dirty work wing. Brunson, if the Knicks get it right around him, maybe. Again, can Brunson have the season where it's like, this guy might be the best player in the league, guys? I don't know, man. It's just, I look at it, it's Shai's 26. Luka's 26. He's healthy next year. He'll be in the mix again. Jokic is 29. Giannis is 30. Wimby is 21. I mean, it's just kind of hard to imagine. Yeah. Don't count out Giannis for sure. Jokic is 30. Okay, I think this is like start of the season age, maybe. Get ready to learn Christian Anderson at pick 13, Texas Tech. Hell yeah, baby. I got Iowa State, Cincinnati on the screen right now. Anyways, that's the MVP race. I just wanted to highlight how close it is, man. Both these guys are having such great seasons. And, man, it's way closer than I thought. I really did think it was Shai through and through. Cade and Paolo have the best case for MVP if they can get their team for top seed and be competitive in the next 5 years. American-born, I would say Cade, Anthony Edwards and Tatum would be my two most likely guys. Sixth man of the year, I mean, it's gonna be Pritchard. Malik Beasley's having a crazy season. I think Ty Jerome should maybe be a little bit higher on these odds too, but it's not that close in my opinion. Put it this way, if you swap the players on their teams, which team would do better? I don't like looking at it that way, honestly. Funny thing is I don't even think Jokic cares or even plays for MVP. Nuggets would be asking OKC would be a 70-win team. OKC would have like no guard creators. Like those teams would just be weird. The Nuggets would have zero center, and the Thunder would have no guard creators at all. Like that's just a silly way to look at it, in my opinion. Nuggets are asked when Jokic sits. Look at the numbers. No, we talked about the numbers. Let's like look at all the other awards. Kenny Atkinson's running away with Coach of the Year. Jalen Brunson, Clutch Player of the Year. Yeah, sounds right to me. Cade Cunningham, Most Improved. So I've been anti top picks when Most Improved Player. I've been anti that. I've been against that. Just doesn't make sense to me, really. I think Cade could be an exception here. Just because he has made that, he's made like a very sizable leap. So I understand this one. Dyson Daniels would be, and Christian Brown are also great. Like I think in a world where you just say, hey, the rules for Most Improved, you can't be like a top 3 pick. Like you like all if you do some rules like that, like Dyson Daniels and Christian Brown, I think are great options. I would say I would pick Christian Brown over Dyson Daniels personally. Defensive Player of the Year is interesting. So Mobley's minus 250 with Dyson Daniels second. Dyson Daniels winning Defensive Player of the Year would be awesome. See, okay, this is where Shai's sixth. Come on. Norman Powell's right there for him, Most Improved. So the reason why I would go Christian Brown over Dyson Daniels is if you look at Dyson Daniels' stats, offensively at least, he just does look like a much more confident player. Like the eyeball test says that he's much improved. That goes without being said. But, you know, numbers-wise and rate-wise, that was a pretty big increase. What the fuck was I looking at then? Never mind. Disregard everything that I said. Disregard everything that I just said. The fact they don't have Dinwiddie up there is disrespectful. For Most Improved, yeah, I agreed. Rookie of the Year looks like Stephon Castle's running away with it. I think that's about right. It is a very, very weak Rookie of the Year race. Double down like Shaq? Yeah, I should. No, SGA is a good defender. Like he is. SGA is a legitimately good defender. He's not top 6. Like J-Dub should have a higher odds than him, truthfully. Look at Zubats. Wells should win it. I think Wells has a good case. I do think I watched Stephon Castle and he just embodies Rookie of the Year to me. He looks like the most impressive rookie. I saw that Spurs fan on Twitter begging for a flag like they'd already have Wemby and Castle. I think he was trolling. I saw that too. It was like, could the NBA help out the Spurs for once and give us Cooper flag? Anyways, man. Shout out to both these guys, Shai and Jokic. Incredible. Also, they could be the guys I'm rooting for in the play. We'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. Very, very easily could be the guys that I'm rooting for. Castle should have went 1 in the draft. What a weird draft that was. What a weird draft. Do the lottery system? No, I can't leave my fandom up to chance. Gotta grab it. You're gonna end up going for Luka once you see his first playoff game. I really think you're overestimating how much I have in me to root for the Lakers like that. It really is bizarre because I do love LeBron, love Luka, and honestly, I have not mind rooting for the Lakers. Something flipped in me where it's like, what did they fucking do to deserve this? It's every time I watch them, it's what I think. What did they do to deserve this? That's what pisses me off. It's like, what did the Lakers as a team, as an organization, do to deserve this? It would be different if they had gone like the OKC route and had just put together all of these picks and had just been so good with their cap maneuvering that, hey, we have we have cap space. Let's bring on Al Horford for a future first-round pick. Let's bring in all of these guys. What did OKC do to deserve it? No, I'm saying, what did the Lakers do to deserve having LeBron James fall into their lap? Nothing. Versus having Luka fall into their lap? Nothing. They didn't do anything to deserve that. It's crazy. Hollywood, that's right. I said this once and someone was like, yeah, they've been a great historic franchise. That's what they've done to deserve it. It's like, man, enough. Enough. That'd be like the Cowboys. It'd be me saying like, yeah, well, the Cowboys, man, they were great in the 90s. So you got to give it to them. They're a really well-run team because they were great a long time ago. OKC literally built over years smartly from nothing. OKC's done a fantastic job. What did OKC do to deserve SGA 9 first-round picks? Are you being serious? Let's talk that through. Let's talk that through, okay? Kevin Durant leaves. Russell Westbrook, to his credit, says, hey, this is my place. I want to stay here. All right, they built teams. They made some great trades along the way. Like, they traded Serge Ibaka for Domantas Sabonis. Wait, no, that wasn't the Sabonis trade, was it? Was it the Sabonis trade? For Victor Oladipo, for sure. How did they get Sabonis? Did they draft Sabonis? My mind's now playing tricks on me. Draft. Okay, they drafted Sabonis. No. He was in the Serge Ibaka trade as a pick. All right, I knew I wasn't going crazy. He was in the Serge Ibaka trade. My God. So they traded Serge Ibaka, who was, this was one of the worst fucking trades. It doesn't get talked about a lot. The Magic trade for Serge Ibaka, and they trade Victor Oladipo and the pick that was Domantas Sabonis to the Thunder. Okay. Fast forward a year. The Thunder want to help out their guy, Russell Westbrook. They trade Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. For who? For Paul George, who at this point in time was an incredible player. All NBA player, And they took a risk because Paul George was doing the whole, hey, if you're not an LA team, don't trade for me. If you're not Los Angeles, do not trade for me. If you're not at Los Angeles, don't trade for me. He was playing that. He was doing that song and dance. And the Thunder said, we'll call your bluff. They bring him in. First year. 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. All-Star. 13 All-NBA. Signs an extension with the Thunder. Huge win for small markets. I mean, this was a big deal at the time. Huge win for small market teams. They sold him on their vision. They paid him. Huge. Huge win for small market teams. He then goes on to have the best season of his career. The next year, finished 3rd in MVP voting. 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year voting. 28 points per game. Then it happened. So they made a big play trading for Paul George. Paul George was incredible for them. Paul George says, hey, I want to go to LA to play with Kawhi. Thunder say, okay. The Thunder know that they have the Clippers basically at their fingertips because the Clippers know, hey, Kawhi wants to come here, but it has to be with Paul George. So the Thunder know they can get whatever the fuck they want from him, and they robbed them blind. They want Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who you knew Shai was good. Like, if you looked at some of the numbers, you knew Shai was good, and he was a very interesting young player. You did not know. To be fair, Doc Rivers didn't want to trade SGA to the Thunder. I know Doc said that. Nobody could have expected Shai to turn into what he turned into. And then, they used their cap space to trade for guys like Al Horford into their cap space to absorb that contract when the Sixers wanted to pawn him off. They got a pick in that deal that I believe part of me wants to say that it ended up being the J-Dub pick, but I could be wrong. Oh, wait, no, that's this year's pick. Right. That's right. That's this year's pick. The pick that the Thunder have from the Sixers, that's this year's pick, could be potentially 7th overall pick in the draft. They got for just absorbing Al Horford's contract because they had money. And yeah, they put together a team. Chris Paul, they rehabbed his value. It looked like Chris Paul's career was like not over, but like done being this like uber, high quality player. Just felt like he was older and hurt. Was part of the Russell Westbrook trade. Spent 1 year with the Thunder and was absolutely incredible. Hi from Spain, listening while driving at work every day religiously. Enjoying the stream as always, King. Thank you very much, man. Shout out to Spain. Would love to visit España someday. Would love to. They're able to basically rehab his value. Trade him to the Suns. Dennis Schroeder ends up having a fantastic season. Danilo Gallinari ends up having a fantastic season. Who else was on that Super Friends team? You had a young second-year Shai. Lou Dort comes out of nowhere, bursts onto the scene. Jokic too white for the NBA to win another MVP. Yeah, man, Jokic is too white. Like, the NBA hates how white he is. They've only given him 3 MVP awards. NBA can't have too many white NBA. It doesn't fit their narrative. He's won 3 MVP awards, brother. 3 of them. Okay, it's a lot. It's like a historic amount. Like, Jesus Christ. Thought on people named Brady. Cool last name. Tom Brady just took that name, and it's like a last name now. Cool last name, weird first name, in my personal opinion. These ads are insane every 30 seconds of watch time. That's weird. It's set for every 30 minutes. So if you're the coach, how would you plan against Shai? This is why I get paid the big bucks. I don't know. I feel like I'd be a fucking terrible coach because I would just be like, dude, you just got to double team this guy. Like, whatever. Just fucking whatever. He's not scoring 50 points. Let him score and bank on J-Dub to beat you. I think the thing with the let him score thing is like he's going to score at such a high clip. Give the MVP to Shai. He doesn't deserve us, but his race fits the narrative. All right, what are you guys on about, man? Is this what I've heard horror stories about Nuggets fans. Is this really what it's like? So you're gonna rebuild the Mavs over the offseason in 2K? Yeah, we'll for sure do that. Imagine Luka with the Shai whistle. Shai leads the league in points per game without free throws. Which Luka did last year. Perkins and Stephen A. Smith have brainwashed these fools. You know what's funny is I do think Perkins influenced that vote quite a bit with that rant. But I think it was just more so people were like, you know what? I don't even want to fucking deal with this shit. Like, Embiid's having a great season. We'll vote for Embiid. Like, let's not even. And what's funny is Perkins voted for Giannis Antetokounmpo that year. Didn't even vote for Embiid. Defending Shaq, he doesn't have a crazy whistle is silly. I mean, he gets fouled. He goes to the free throw line a good amount. I don't know. His whistle seems fine to me. I watch a lot of Thunder games. Does he grift? Yes. Do I ever feel like, my God, they're just letting this guy, they're calling everything on this guy? I don't know. Feels like he gets fouled a lot. Like he gets fouled a ton. He's impossible to guard. And before you say yes, Luka gets fouled a ton too. Jokic's whistle is terrible. Shai has a better whistle than Jokic for sure. Shai has a better whistle than Luka for sure. He barely gets touched. Jokic, Luka, and Curry don't get near the calls. I don't know, guys. You like there's obviously some egregious examples. Like, don't get me wrong, of Shai jumping and drawing the contact and leaning into guys, but Luka's whistle is not fine. Let's be real. The amount of physicality is allowed to be played on Luka compared to others is crazy. Like, if Dort guarded Shai like he did Luka, he would have fouled out. I mean, yeah, defenders are physical on Luka, but Luka's a physical player. I've said this a million times. We spent a lot of time talking about it recently too. Which is more physical players, like refs allow more physicality against those guys. That's just how it goes. It's not fair. I know it's not fair. Shai's whistle, along with what OKC is allowed to do on the other end, is the main reason it's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I just think they're incredible defensively. I don't know. How do people get eligible for MVP voting? I don't know how that process works, to be honest with you. People keep on pointing out Luka keeps complaining, but his complaints are all legitimate. I don't even want to get into this today, honestly. This whole chat is just Nuggets and Luka fans. This is hilarious. What's funny, Jeremy, is the community has grown, right? And it has diversified quite a bit, especially since the Luka trade. We now have a nice little hodgepodge of a mixing pot of fans, right? So imagine a year or two ago when it was probably like 95% Mavericks fans. The visceral reaction when I would defend Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It really didn't start until last year. That's when it became really threatening. Did you see Claxton shove Luka? How could I not have seen it? That play has been shared 500 times. Every great offensive player grifts. All of them do. Literally every single one of them do. This is the push. It's literally, I'd send out a tweet joking about it. It's literally the Zapruder film. They've treated this like the Zapruder film. Back into the left. Here comes Claxton from back into the left. Back into the left. Claxton comes in. Two refs. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. There's a second ref. Oh, shit. There's a second ref on the grassy knoll. Oh, Mr. President, a second ref has entered the video. All right, so this is a clear and obvious foul. Don't get me wrong, but this angle I feel like isn't good for this. This angle I feel like isn't good for this narrative. This angle makes it look like it's more of a selling the contact than anything else. Just being honest. Like this angle's not good. The angle where it's on the baseline, where you just see Claxton appear out of nowhere and shove him in the back, is the bad one. This video is so funny, man. Oh, we aren't prepared for the Lakers fans here. The team that has just the most insane free throw differential numbers over the last 5 or so years. Just the most insane free throw disparity there is. We're not prepared for this. We are not. Is still a foul in there? Oh, yeah, that's definitely a foul. That is 100% a foul. So you got to be anyone who brings up Luka for everything? No, I don't. LeBron gets fouled a ton, yeah. There was a lot of uncalled fouls for Luka in this game. You know, the Nets play very physically. Luka 34, 9-9, Shai 35-6, and Shai ahead of Luka in MVP voting. Bro just took a time machine from last year. As crazy as it is to say, and these numbers I got, I think yesterday, Luka is getting fouls called on his drives as a Laker more than any other time as a member of the Mavericks. Which is funny because I've seen people be like, his whistle's gotten worse. And I'm like, really? Does the MVP conversation get worse each year? No, I don't know if anything. I don't know if anything comes close to the Embiid Jokic year. I don't think anything comes close to that. Like, this year's been kind of cordial, all things considered. That year was bad, man. Like, that year was bad. The conversation. Like, you realistically, you couldn't, and I don't even think we talked about the MVP on here that year because it was just like, I don't want to get, I would throw like that. Hey, Luka should be the MVP every now and then, but I don't even want to go there. I think his whistle is worse because he argues with officials. Oh, I think Luka gets what you could interpret as a bad whistle. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he is constantly yelling at the refs. I mean, the refs are human. Let's just call a spade a spade. Refs are human beings. And if you're yelling and screaming at them every second of the game, would it suck if actual sports analysts and scientific experts would vote instead of the media? Scientific experts? Neil deGrasse Tyson's going to get a vote? Luka needs a full offseason to recover. His first step is down slower. Oh yeah, this will be a big summer for Luka. Big summer. Big summer. I would have gave it to Embiid. He was knocking on the door for years, even though Jokic might have had the better season. Yeah, I don't think Embiid winning that year was bad. But the conversation surrounding it was so bad that it did reach a point where it was like, this is probably going to end up turning into some like deeper conversation about like race and race relations. That's just like, that's how bad it got, genuinely speaking. That is how bad that conversation got and that year got in terms of the MVP discussion. That it was just like, okay. No, that's true. That is true. Harden and Giannis was crazy as well. Harden and Giannis was crazy. The MVP race is always gets a little. I think this one's been fairly. I feel like this one's been fairly level-headed. And Harden sort of played into it as well. Ay. Who's worse, Shaq or the worst commentator, Shaq or Kendrick Perkins? I think Shaq is worse. Shaq is just so negative. Perk does the ESPN sensationalism stuff, but I never feel like he's like uber negative about this sport, really. It's like some of what he says is a little annoying, sure. But that's more like the ESPN sensationalist thing that's gotten to him. Shaq is just like openly like mean about the sport. I saw that Luka's going to be involved in some EuroLeague games this summer. Know anything about that? I mean, there's Eurobasket this year, which is a big one. That's one of the big ones. Are you and Nick going to continue the Luka coverage over the summer? Well, I don't know about Nick, but I mean, I'll still talk about him on here. If Shaq wasn't huge, he would have been a terrible player. He was good because of his size. Yeah, well. If my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike. Kind of wish he'd take the summer off to get right. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine him missing Eurobasket. I cannot imagine it. If Slovenia has the same roster from last summer, Luka won't be playing much this summer. Yeah, their team was terrible last year. I don't know, man. I don't know if he'll sit out Eurobasket. We'll see. If you listen to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. All right, folks. I'm pretty sure we will be live tonight on playback.tv/slightly biased. We will, we'll just watch. We'll watch. We'll see what's going on. Thunder Celtics tonight. It's a good one. Suns Rockets. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, Suns. Please. You got to win this one. So a lot of people say Prime Harden's way of playing doesn't win championships. Your thoughts on that? I mean, they went toe-to-toe. They played the greatest team maybe ever assembled better than any other team did. They got so close that I don't know. I never agreed with it. I still don't. I think it only works for a handful of guys. Like, obviously, the ISO heavy stuff, well, that wouldn't piss me off. I'd be, I don't know if I would say happy, but I think it would be a sign of like, okay, Luka's like starting to figure it out. My stream froze? Wait, what? Interesting. Could you hear me at least? Interesting. All right. That is going to do it for me, though. I can't believe how we started this stream, man. Oh, man. I cannot believe how we started this stream. All right, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. All the OGs, guys, I love you very much. You could have spent your Wednesday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but I'll get you. It makes me feel so good. We'll be live back here tomorrow on Thursday. I know I said I would do one every single day this week since we didn't do it on Monday, but we will not be doing one on Friday. There will be no slightly early on Friday morning, but we will do one tomorrow morning. So we'll still have 3 this week, and we'll be live on playback.tv/slightlybiased tonight. I don't know why I said maybe. We definitely will be. I don't know why I said maybe. Love you all. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will chat with you all later. Bye.